welcome back to my channel, and here's my little deep dive of Final Fantasy 15. I always do a little review when I finish the game. I'm still doing through my marathon. I'm actually at 16 right now, but more on that later, what my plan is and stuff. But yeah, I finished Final Fantasy 15. So I purchased the Royal Edition on Steam. Basically you just get the episodes, and we'll talk about that later as well. But you get basically all the DLC included. I think that's the only difference so far what I've seen. I thought the Royal Edition was the upgrades. You get the changes they've made from the game, like the patches, but if you had regular Final Fantasy 15 when you bought it in 2016, it actually updated it as well. So Royal Edition is just, I think, just including all the DLCs. So yeah, let's deep dive into Final Fantasy 15 and what do I think about it. Final Fantasy 15 came originally out in 2016, so 10 years ago actually. That's crazy. Fun note on me is actually Final Fantasy 15 was the first Final Fantasy that I ever touched. Mainly because I wasn't really I knew about Final Fantasy, was always interested in it. But at that point of time, I had a hard time with turn-based combat. It's really funny actually, but now I am a complete 180. So I didn't like pixel either, like pixel games, and I didn't like turn-based combat. I was used to Kingdom Hearts. That was my game before Final Fantasy came in. So yeah, I played this one because I was curious about its Final Fantasy, and I heard it was made, or at that time I think I've heard one of the directors was from Kingdom Hearts. And I was like, I'm giving it a shot because it's kind of similar style of fighting as Kingdom Hearts. So that's what I played. This is my first one. And not really a good introduction to it, I think. Yeah, so this went into the history of this game is messy. It was supposed to be actually called Final Fantasy Versus 13, like a follow-up, I think, of 13, or at least in the same world as Final Fantasy 13. That got scrapped completely. They did have a trailer and stuff already out for it, and everything, but yeah, they just said, I don't know what exactly happened, but they didn't do it. It had a development of 6 years, I believe. It had trailers and everything. Yeah, they shifted to a different director, and I think in the end this came out of it. And you can tell that it's a bit of a cash grab, I think, for this game in general, when it came out. It was very empty. They have patched it up over the years, of course, but story-wise, I think it lacks a lot. A lot of things happened off-screen, and you will not hear about it. Because now I've played it again after 10 years, I saw the changes they have made. There's a few examples I have. The big one is when you find out that the capital gets attacked. You now see scenes of the movie they made, Kingsglaive. You will now see that what happens in flashbacks of like scenes from that film, and you know that it got negotiation went wrong, and then Noctis, his dad, dies in between that. In the regular Final Fantasy 2000, when it came out in 2016, you don't see that. You don't see Kingsglaive scenes. You only see Ignis coming in with a newspaper and saying, the capital has been attacked. Your dad is dead. And that's it. And you don't know why, how, whatever. You just know there was a fight with the Empire. And then everything in Lucis goes behind the scenes. You don't go to the capital. You don't do, you don't make it back. You only see it in smoke from it. All of those things. And it's just like, that's it. Like, you don't really, it doesn't really it gets really explained or anything. I think they were really on, like, you have to watch Kingsglaive first, to get more backstory on, like, the characters that are the NPCs characters. They also made an anime as well, what is called Brotherhood, if I'm correct. So you basically had to watch those two things to understand who those characters were, because the characters you get shown in the game get like tops I'm gonna say between 2 and 5 minutes screen time in the entire game, and I'm stretching it. I think it's even less sometimes. There's a few characters that are like, just they're like the empire, the lead of the empire that starts, basically I think kills the dad. I honestly forgot his name. I think it's Reginus or something, or is that his dad's name? I don't really know. He is there for 5 seconds. You only see him one time in a load stream, see him in one scene having one dialogue, and then that's it. Everything else happens off screen. And they do that really, really a lot. What is honestly kind of annoying, because you feel like you're missing out and you just don't really bond with the character either, because you don't have time with them. Same for Lunafreya, actually. I think so the whole thing is that they are gonna get married, Noctis and Lunafreya. I know they're trying for a love story. If you have a game like 10 and Final Fantasy 10 and 8 and even 4, you know, like, those have great love stories. And with them, I just couldn't buy it. They were forcing themselves to marry because of the kingdom. And then they haven't met before at all since they were 12. They were childhood friends, never got in touch after that. And then now they suddenly, they are getting married, and then they're supposed to be a couple, but they are never together. So you don't have, like, a bond with them. It's so different than, like, Tidus and Yuna, or Squall and Rinoa. It's not great. Also, the thing that they are trying to communicate with books while they all have cell phones is really also a bug for me. So yeah, also Lunafreya has a brother. Don't tell me the name. I already forgot because he's just so not noticeable. He's one at the end. He's a boss fight at the very end, but he also just gets killed off. You run into him being killed, and then he's getting used by the main bad guy named Arden. So that is basically your main villain of the game from Final Fantasy 15 is Arden. Has cool features and stuff, but I think when you have to find out more about them, you do have to play their DLCs. And that will, like, come up to it too. Is the DLCs they released episodes of all your characters. You are in a boy band, basically. You are Noctis, Ignis, Gladio, and Prompto. You are driving around with your Regalia is named, that's your car, and you drive around the world, your world, the Eos, and beside it, I think you call it Insomnia. You drive around going to basically drop him off with, like, they are his escort. Your friends are Noctis' escorts to go to Lunafreya to meet up and then marry. That's the whole plan. Anyway, then when each of your friends have an episode they released, we have Gladio, Ignis, Prompto. They all have their thing. They're DLC. I've only played Gladio and Ignis. I have redid Gladio, and you will run into Gilgamesh and stuff. Ignis, I don't really remember, but it will all, like, show you what happened to them, because in the game they will all disappear for a little while, and you're like, where did you go to? So they're off for a while, and then they come back with some kind of thing on them, like Scar. Ignis gets his eyes, you know. Then Prompto reveals something about himself that he, I guess, just figured out on his. But hey, you have to pay for that DLC to figure out how he did figured it out, or how did Gladio got that scar. Then also for they had a couple more planned. I think they had one for Lunafreya and I think Gantiana, who is aka Shiva. So yeah, then they scrapped those, but they kept Arden as a DLC as well that I haven't played yet. So I'm not really sure what is in that one. It probably, hopefully, gives more background to him, because it's also a bit unclear. He doesn't really get a lot of like background or screen time either, I think. Basically, gameplay wise, it is very similar as in Kingdom Hearts, like I said before. You are having an action based kind of battle system, what they call it. So where you can very quickly switch weapons. You can equip 4 weapons or magic if you want to, and then you switch between those. It's very, very similar as in Kingdom Hearts. It's very fast-paced, it's very fun, but it does take a little while to get used to, especially if you come back from turn-based, or if you're coming from 13 like me. You're very used to the Paragym system, and then you have to change. It's very easy to pick up though. They did change, mostly you play with Noctis, but later when you get your skill tree, you are allowed to equip that you can also play the other characters. That was also a change with the patch they did. Before, in the first, like when it just released, you could only play with Noctis, none of your other friends. They were not there. They were just there for Psychic, that's it. So yeah, Magic, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. The way you have to do it is you collect them in the world, grab them, with some, like with your hand like that, and then you have to like kind of do like an alchemy with it, and I couldn't figure out how to get like Fyra or something, but you have to like combine it with like items you have, and honestly I think it was such a pain in the ass. I just didn't want to deal with it, and it didn't feel like it was necessary, so didn't do it. The world, so the next one will be the world. It is open world, so the game is not long. I beat it in 25 hours, 28, maybe 30, I don't know. But it is because, so that's the main story. Main story is around 20 to 25 hours. It's just because it's an open world game. You have a lot of side missions. You can drive with your car, you have the regalia around, and then meet side characters or NPCs, and then a lot of side quests and stuff. You also have hunts in this one, and yeah, you have like you also have like secret dungeons. I think I can do that now. I just never went back. You get like the dungeons you've been in before have a secret layer all underneath them, and then like it's like a harder version of it. Yeah, that's it. Never really did anything. It felt, the side quests weren't really for me. They were kind of really a lot of like, hey, fetch this thing, fetch that. They were kind of boring. The car idea sounds really fun, but I kind of got bored with it, because you can't really, fast traveling is actually kind of more of a pain in the ass, because you have to drive somewhere first and then you kind of unlock it, and the car eventually is just kind of, you're just waiting. It's not really that spectacular, because when you drive yourself, you can feel the car is like on some kind of like invisible track, so you can't really go off-road as much. You feel like you are really on an invisible track to kind of move, kind of like that. I do know when you upgrade your car very low, because you have a quest to upgrade your car, you can eventually fly, what was really cool. I haven't done it. After that, my criticism on this game is it had a lot of product placement when it came out in 2016. everything was a product placement. They had monsters they drank from, the Coleman chairs, they're still in it. And then Gladio has like a specific quest from Cup Noodle, because they also drink that when you camp, what is also a feature in the game. You can camp to heal up and get your XP points. Not really anything to really get into. Anyway, but most of the time they had Cup Noodle, also product placement. And that is still in there. And they made an entire side mission for it. I guess Cup Noodle really paid for that. So Gladio has a whole dialogue about Cup Noodle and how it's the greatest thing. And if you buy an Excel, you know that it's actually more better than, and you have more energy, and then you can do way more if you do an Excel version of it. So then you have a whole side mission. I didn't do it because I got so annoyed by his dialogue already. I'm like, you're never gonna get your Cup Noodle. Next part is the Aeons, or I don't actually remember how they are called here. Eidolons, I think. These are like your, you know, they're always in Final Fantasy. So we have Titan, Ramuh, Shifa. I think they're called the six. It's I think Ifrit, Shifa, Bahamut, Ramuh, Titan, I'm forgetting, and Leviathan. Yes. Not really anyone else so far. They're all called the six, and those are it. They're not really used as in like 13 or any other games. They're very like overpowered. They're like an event for you. So when they come, and they don't come often, and they rotate as well. And you can't decide which one also will appear. You will hear like music, and then you have to hold your controller, and then it will come and will help you. It will like appear, I'm gonna say. And yeah, mostly it's all like a one-hit kill. They're very, very overpowered. And you can't, the only downside is you can't decide. I think if you're closer to water, Leviathan comes more. And I think if you're like more in the woods, I think like then it's Ramuh. So far I've only actually gotten Ramuh and Leviathan. Those two you get actually at the earliest. Titan is the first one you get, but any other I haven't seen or used, because they don't really come as often, because they're so overpowered. There is a side quest that has an collab with Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO. I think if you defeat that one, I haven't done it, but you get Garuda. I heard that's the only downside. If you get Garuda, the only thing you will get is Garuda. It will only appear. I think there's like a glitch or something. So when you get Garuda, you only get Garuda. So you have to be committed on it. So overall, I had fun with the game. I was very excited to play it again after 10 years. I was very excited in the beginning, and but the more I was playing it, I was like, ooh, this is why it's not really a great game. It's just like a lack of story for me, and lack of the characters built as well. I really didn't have a bond with the group, with the boy band. It just couldn't really connect with them as much, and I'm also just sad. They have to do a lot of heavy lifting because most of the time you have a bigger group. Like 13, you have a few, 8 maybe. So you have another 4. If a few characters you're not really vibing with, or you don't really grab them, you have others that outshine a little bit more. But from the 4, there was not really, I think, one. I think the one that outshines for me from the 4 is Ignis. I really just like him. I love the line when he finds a new recipe. I found a new recipe. I think he's the most fun of the 4. I know I mentioned with Ignis and cooking, there is a cooking element in it when you camp. You can make recipes and stuff, and he finds recipes as well, and then you can cook them at your camp where you get your XP. And then some meals are favorites from like one of the team members, and they will get extra bonus on top if it's their favorite meal. And so yeah, while you're doing your side missions and stuff, you get ingredients and all of those things. You can buy ingredient books, and that's how he gets new recipes. Sometimes you just grab something and you're just like, hey, I found a new recipe. He doesn't say it this calm though. So yeah, and sometimes you do have to make a dialect choice. They do have dialogue choice, not dialect. They do dialogues with each other. Sometimes you have those. But yeah, I think it's just been kind of lacking. I wish Arden got a bit more. I think it's because like in the beginning the focus is on the Empire and they seem like the villain, the main villain. And then Arden is around, but you don't know that he is basically everything, the whole brain behind the organization. I wish there was a bit more of that. Plus then all of like the others characters like Lunafreya, Gentiana, the brother of Lunafreya. I wish they just had more of it. Like I think in the beginning you ran into a character you think like is a very like big character or something called Levi, I think. And you just kill him in 3 seconds so you never hear from it again. But he seems like was someone from like your team. Especially because they have one scene with the Empire where they're all standing there and then you see basically all getting an introductions from those characters and they just don't really get used. And Ariana Highwind is one of a great example as well. She is set up as a really like a kind of like an in-between big boss, not the main but an in-between, you know, like before you fight her once and then she turns and then she's on your side, so there's like no like level of growth there or anything, or it's just everything just happens so quickly. It's like, oh, that was quick, like yeah, we're now on the same team, cool. Yeah, so that's kind of what I have been missing, and I've noticed the side quest kind of became a bit boring for me. It was alright. I am still very interested in the episodes. I will keep playing them. I might do that as a recording and stream. So I'll do a mix of those if you're interested in it. Like I said, I am curious about Promptos and Arden's one because I haven't played those. But for the others, I am just gonna leave it as is, I think. I have a bunch of side missions. They had a few collabs like with Final Fantasy XIV and another mobile game. They had another collab side mission as well. But yeah, I just really wasn't vibing with it. You can tell it's very messy. I hate to be so down on a game, especially on a Final Fantasy. But this one, it just keeps feeling messy. I still had fun, you know, I did beat it all. They did added some stuff in the final section. That was really nice. Like before you didn't have any side missions at all, but now you do. Now you have like 3 or 4, and I think they also changed the end game as well. First it was just with Arden, like that 1 or 2, but I forgot. And I think you have Ifrit and Cerberus beforehand, but now it's Cerberus, Ifrit, and then you have like 3 boss battles. Each for your friend. It's tied with your friend because you switch over to that friend. So they all each have their boss. So it was pretty tough. It was tougher than before. And then you have Arden, what I thought was longer because I thought he will do his ultimate form, and then it just ended. So that was kind of a letdown. So I understand why they did like a battle brawl beforehand. Like having 4 or 5 bosses before you go to Arden, because Arden feels like nothing compared with the ones I had before. But yeah, it was just okay. Like I will give this game like a 6. It's very like, it's just okay to play. I think when you play, just don't go like with high expectations and just know that like the story is paper thin and will not really make sense. A lot of you just have to know things happen a lot in the background. That's just what it is. Eventually I was just like, okay, a lot of things happens off screen and we will never know. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Final Fantasy 15. What is up next is, yeah, I'm at the last one, 16. However, I am waiting until it goes to sale because I think it's a bit pricey right now. Also, I'm a bit bitter because he was on sale before, and I missed it. They had like their Square Enix spring sale, and it was a really good price. I think because I know 16 and it's been pretty recent I've played that one, I might jump into 10-2 instead because that one is new for me. It might be annoying because like I'm doing my marathon but you know what? We can wait a little bit, and that will be part of my whole playing all Final Fantasies because I want to. I also want to do the sequels and the standalones and stuff. So that's what I want to do. So the next one might be 10-2, but it could, yeah, it's either 10-2 or 16. But both of them will happen. It's just like, am I doing 16 first or 10-2, or it will be vice versa. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this little rambling, and honestly felt like I was venting about this game more than about praising it. But yeah, it was still enjoyable. I hope you all enjoyed it, and check out my YouTube for the episodes I will play. And yeah, I'll see you all next time with the next new Final Fantasy. Bye y'all.